Hey y'all, how's it going? Today I am filming while the sun is pretty much setting. It's kind of overcasty, cloudy today, but this is just the time that I have to do it. So we're gonna make do with what we got. And I'm gonna be packing an order because, yeah, I got an order. I'm very excited. But I just wanted to have a little heart-to-heart chat with you guys and just kind of like talk about running a small business because I'm not gonna lie, it's been really tricky. This summer has been pretty hard, so just want to chit chat with you guys, talk about the ups and downs, and hopefully with the shopping season coming, because as we know, the winter season is normally more the season for people to shop. So yeah, let's get into it. So it's summer 2023 and summer's kind of ending now, like it's towards the end, I should say. Back to school season is very much full in effect. It's all in the stores right now. I feel like they kind of started early. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like back to school season started earlier. Or was it always this early and we were just kids and excited and didn't really notice or care? Who knows? But it's back to school season, so they've also, I think I saw a message saying like pumpkin spice lattes have started in Dunkin' Donuts in the US. So we're definitely getting more into the fall season. It's cooler at night. You know, it's pretty much fall. But generally speaking, summer is normally the time of the year that people aren't shopping as much. And if they are shopping, they're shopping for specific things. So like summer related items, vacation items, stuff like that. So if you have those items, great. But generally speaking, for the majority of us, summer is normally like a very slow season. It's low season. So I've definitely felt that. And then you have the also addition to the economic situation and how things are right now. Are we in a recession? Are we not in a recession? Should we just use the R word? Should we not? Things are super expensive, so inflation is also a factor as well. Is that part of a recession? I don't know. I'm not a financial person. But point is, all these factors are coming together and it's kind of making things a little tricky. But then I also see reports where it's like, people have been spending more than expected, da da da, etc. I'm like, well, they're not spending with me, so I don't know what they're buying, but it's not for me. Anyways, it's just been tricky. So I sell plushies, as you can kind of see here. I have a planter, this right here, coming out in a couple months at this point. I said fall 2023, but production is done. Shipping is going to be started and it's coming over by sea, so it's going to take about a month or so to get here. So I have products that aren't necessarily seasonal when it comes to the summer. I do have things that I want to launch next summer that will be very much summer things. But in general, the products I have are very much gift-related products or gift-related products. So definitely something you'd give for a birthday. Birthdays are all year round for sure, but maybe people just aren't giving plushies. I don't know. They're definitely like holiday gifts. They're definitely like baby shower gifts. So generally speaking, more gift related products. Maybe that's just because that's how dolls are. That's how it is with dolls. I'm not really sure. But in general, they're not very like summery products. So it's just been slow. I've had months where I've had one sale. I've had months where I've had two sales. And I'm not talking a week. I'm talking for the whole month. And I do have my career, I guess you could say, that's in addition to what I do for Zuri Dre. So I'm a graphic designer, I'm an illustrator, and I've been very intentional with the clients that I work with. So I don't have a lot of clients, but that helps pay the bills. And so I've been working with my client work throughout, but I'm obviously promoting as much as possible when it comes to Zuri and Dre. It's just no one really wants to buy. Maybe I'm just not reaching enough people. I don't necessarily have anything new yet. Like, yes, I will be coming out with a new doll soon, a new planter, but for this past few months, I really haven't had anything new. So is that a factor as well? It's a little harder for me to be able to like have monthly releases just because financially it's expensive to make these dolls and I have to order like hundreds, like minimum 300 to 400, 500 at a time, and that's just not feasible for me. So is it the fact that I just don't have things coming out every month? Because yeah, it's a little trickier to do that. And then there's also the factor of like, I'm on Shopify, and Shopify shipping I find is very tricky and more tricky than it needs to be. Like when it comes to shipping things that are just paper, small related versus huge or larger items, like it's hard to differentiate the two easily, I find. So I find that's also a tricky thing because people don't really want to pay that much for shipping. And I can't offer one standard rate for shipping just because I don't have one standard size of products. Like, I have dolls that are relatively similar in size and they can fit in specific mail bags. But if you order two, that changes things. If you order two and you're shipping to the West Coast versus where I am on the East Coast, changes things. So it's just kind of tricky. So I realized I've just been chatting and haven't really, started packing this order. So I'm going to print out this packing slip from my website. So let's go to this one and this one. Print packing slips. And I just print the packing slips on my Dymo, which is behind you. And it just makes it easier that way. So I will print that. So it's actually... it's a lot more printed than needed to, but it's actually one person who ordered all these things. It's just they're separate orders just because like some things were printables that they downloaded. Others was like a manual invoice that I had to create based off of their requests. So shout out to Jess or Jessica. Really appreciate all your support. So I'm going to be packing that order and essentially we're just putting everything in one. It's going to be a doll with some coloring books, coloring pages, etc. So yeah, let's get into that. One of the first things is actually a coloring poster, and so it comes in a set of two, and this is what it looks like. And in the description of the item I mentioned that it's folded. So it's our Zuri flower Afro puff design, so they get two of these. I actually don't get a lot of sales for that, so I think that's like one of my first purchases of that, and I've had that on the site for like a year now. Oops. So that's one thing. We're just gonna take these off as we go. Okay. Next we have the printable, which is digital, so that was sent. Then next we have Black Queens, Black Kings, Zuri Dre coloring book, and a Kai plush doll. So we have Black Queens, Black Kings, the Zuri Dre coloring book. Let's take that off as we go. So we've got Black Queens, one Black Kings, one Zuri Dre coloring book, one, and then the last thing was a license to print multiple printables, and so that's kind of like a digital thing, so that I don't have to worry about. And so now we just have to get the Kai plush doll. Okay, we have our Kai plush doll here. So essentially this is the order. The order is like a whole bunch of flat stuff and a doll. So I'm gonna put it in a bigger envelope, of course, but first I'm gonna put the printables and the coloring books, or maybe just the printables, but we'll see. But I'm gonna protect them in like an envelope first before I put them in the bag. Okay, let's see. So we have these coloring books. They're different sizes, so that's also a factor. And then of course we have the coloring sheets, or coloring posters as I like to call them. And it's just gonna go in this envelope, just to make sure it's safe. I'm gonna see if I can fit the coloring books in there too. Okay, I got one coloring book in that one. Can I get two? Let's see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the coloring poster in the middle of the two coloring books. Okay, snug as a bug in a rug. And we like that because that means they're not going to move and they're not going to get damaged during transit. And so that's what that looks like. Okay, so we have these in here and we're just going to seal this. So that's sealed. We have this guy that I'm just going to use as kind of like a stabilizer to help keep everything in place. I'd rather do this to make sure that it's going to get there safely than having to potentially resend it if something gets damaged along the way. So I'll put the coloring book in between here, this here, like so, and then we have our doll. But we also need to add the thank you card and the little freebies that go in here as well. Okay, so now we have our thank you card. It says thank you in the back. This is like one of the last few that I have in this design because I have a new design that I got printed. So thank you card goes in here. Then we have our thank you stickers or freebie stickers. So we have 2 Dre and 2 Zuri stickers. I will eventually get stickers of like the other doll, so Kai and the new doll that's going to come out. But for now, I'd like to get rid of these ones and these sizes and kind of figure out what I'm going to do afterwards. Maybe I'll just do like 1 big sticker per order. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But for now, I'm going to get rid of the ones that I have. And then these long packing slips are gonna go in here as well. And then there we go. So that's going in here. So I have 3 sizes for my mailer bags. I have one that fits 1 doll, one that could fit like 2 to 3 dolls, and one that could fit like 6 dolls or a cushion. Probably like 5 dolls and a cushion. 5 dolls or a cushion. So I'm probably gonna put this in the medium size bag. So I have a small, medium, large size. I'm gonna put this in the medium size just to make sure it's in there well and it fits, because putting all this and the pointy edges in the smaller bag just doesn't seem very logical. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to give a drawstring bag. I normally charge for these. Back in the day I used to offer these for free. But I'm going to put the envelopes in the drawstring bag just to make sure that they don't mess up the bag. So it's just going to make the edges a little softer, right? So we don't have to worry about, you know, potentially ripping the bag along the way. And because this person has ordered so many things from me, like, it's also another freebie just for me to say thank you as well. So we've got this. We've got our Kai. So these are my mailer bags. They're recyclable, not compostable. My smaller size ones are compostable, and they're from Tish Wish. They're from Tish Wish. But these ones are just recyclable. And so we're gonna put this stuff in first. See, it's like softer now. It's not like a pointy edge, you know what I mean? And then we are also gonna put our Kai. Close this up. And this is what I mean by, like, shipping is hard, right? Because, like, depending on what someone orders, if they order a cushion and a doll or a cushion and a coloring book, like, anything's possible. And then once I get the planters in, like, that's gonna be a whole other conversation when it comes to shipping. I'm a little nervous for that, but it's so tricky to figure out what's the best option for, get the air out, what's the best option for shipping. And I find, because I'm on the basic plan for Shopify, so that also is a factor too when it comes to, like, picking and choosing how you do your shipping and stuff. It's either way too expensive, way too little, and I'm paying out of pocket and not making any profit from the actual sale of my items. Not profit from shipping, but profit from the sale of my items, because the shipping cost is going into that profit. So it's just very tricky. But here's our package, all done. Our package is all done. I will measure it and I will weigh it just to put it into shipping stuff, anyways, I'm tired, y'all. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the fall season just because I know it's a lot busier and that will help, but I'm also nervous on like not knowing how much longer I can do this for. I don't want to stop. I definitely want to continue, and like I don't see why I shouldn't be able to continue, but I also need to be able to figure out how to make more sales consistently. That's been the biggest thing. That's been the hardest thing. I've been doing ads lately, and that's been helping me get more visibility, a few follows, but it's not necessarily translating to sales yet. And I know it takes time, but I just don't know how to do it, don't know what to do. And then finding the time to be able to do things like YouTube, which is why I'm not very consistent with this either. So it's been tricky. It's been really tricky. And I know that you guys are feeling the same way, like to my other small business owners, like, because I've seen other videos that I've watched where people are talking about the same things, but then I also see videos of people doing like amazing and like always having sales. And I'm just like, how are you doing it? I know you're selling different things, but still, how are you consistently making sales? Like that's the big thing. So yeah, it's been tricky. I'm going to keep pushing at least until the end of the year. Next year, beginning of next year after Black History Month, because that's also kind of a peak for me, I'll kind of reevaluate and see where I'm at, what maybe I need to stop, pause, or just look at from a different perspective and go from there. Leave your suggestions down below. If you're a small business owner and you're going through the same thing, like let's chat in the comment section. Like let's build this community a bit more, because it's hard out here, and I know I'm not alone because I see it, but when you're alone in your office every day, it feels like you're alone. You know what I mean? So we'll see how this goes. Thanks so much for chatting along and hanging out with me. Wasn't long, but I still appreciate the encouragement, the views, the likes, the follows, the subscribers, all that. I really appreciate it, because it's also like an indication that like, okay, I could do this. You know what I mean? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Bye.